All right, Shalom. This is the brother in the hall here from the GMS Orlando camp. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yasher Allah. And a sincere salutation to all you Akim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwath, who are believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. Yahweh is the name of the one they ignorantly call God. Yahweh Shai is the name of the one they ignorantly call Jesus. Bahashem is in the name, Rakah is spirit, Kodash is holy, Akyam is brothers, Akwath is sisters, Shalom means peace, and Yasher Allah is Israel in the ancient Paleo-Hebrew. All right, now I want to go into a lesson through the spirit, all right, inspired by this picture that you see on the screen, and it's basically of a Israelite, all right, because the Israelites, we are Negro, Latino, Native American, West Indians, and Haitians as we're known today. But our biblical nationality is Israel, all right, with the Israelites. All right, and this picture basically depicts, what Jake would term selling out. And selling out doesn't always mean you write your name in blood. Selling out doesn't always mean that you get millions of dollars. Whenever you compromise your integrity, you are, in essence, selling out. And people sell out for many things. They sell out for jobs. That's the most basic, if you will, consolation or bribe, because it compromises our people's ability to speak truth and to live it. So let's start here. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7. And I'm going to jump down to verse 7. And it reads, "Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart." Now, when you read this in the NLT, it says extortion turns wise people into fools, and bribes corrupt the heart. And when you look at this picture, it's basically all the bribes in a nutshell. Now, for most of our people, they envision this as the best case scenario. All right. They sign some major deal or they become the rich person in their family to, as they say, break the generational curse. But what you see through the spirit is it's basically selling out in so many words. And this is why these so-called celebrities of this day and age are not able to speak truth and confirm it. All right, because their judgment is basically tainted through the bribes that they've received in this society. And like I said before, it's not always in the form of millions of dollars. If you're afraid to speak truth through the spirit because of your job or losing your so-called livelihood, in essence, you've taken a bribe. You've kept silent. And they have a saying in this world where silence is consent. Even when you deal with the law, if a woman was taken advantage of in the city and she didn't scream, she would be held at fault because silence is consent at that point. All right, so let's go here. This is Isaiah chapter 5. And I'm going to jump down to verse 20. And it reads, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter." Jumping down to verse 23, it reads, "Which justify the wicked for reward, and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him." Now, when you read this in the NLT, Isaiah 5 and 23, they take bribes to let the wicked go free. And that's in essence what most of our people have done. All right, when they absolve the nation of Edom, which is the self-proclaimed white man, of any fault, they're letting the wicked go free for a bribe. And that bribe may be acceptance. When you really look at it, a lot of our people have given up their integrity for acceptance or the illusion of acceptance, because in most cases, they're not actually accepted. It's just a front to make you feel comfortable when you're in their presence. And this shows you the multi-levels of the consolation, the bribe. Because Lord willing, we're going to get Yahweh Shai's words when he said, what would it profit you? You know, if you ended up gaining everything and then you lose your essence, you lose your integrity, because integrity can't be bought, you know, or it shouldn't be. I'll say it that way. And when you think about us as Israelites, eventually the kingdom will come to us. That's the promise. Even though 2/3 of our people have lost hope in that promise, it's still the words of the Lord, and the Lord is not a man that he should lie. Yet, to receive a consolation, most of our people have made an agreement with hell and death. And that's ultimately going to be their downfall. When you think about it through the Spirit, it's ironic that most of our people who have taken a bribe or consolation aren't rich. They struggle just like Jake. The only difference is they've compromised their integrity, and they still don't profit. As the Lord said, you sold yourselves for naught. And Lord willing, will be redeemed without money. All right, now let's go here. This is Mark chapter 8. And I'm going to jump down to verse 35. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. But whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel's, the same shall save it. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Now, does that mean you literally lose your soul? No. But you've compromised your integrity to profit somehow, some way in the world. And really, like I said before, most of our people don't profit. You know, they sell themselves to be accepted, and even the acceptance that they receive is not genuine. It's not sincere. That's why the Lord is asking a rhetorical question. What did it profit you? You forsook your own integrity for something that wasn't real. It wasn't a fair exchange. This is why the Lord told us we sold ourselves for naught. And that's the deception of wickedness. On the front end, it is appealing to the flesh, but the consequences far outweigh any perceived benefit. And this is why, Lord willing, we be a part of that number. You know, the elect are special through the Spirit because this world is deceptive. This world constantly pushes forth vain gain. You know, filthy lucre, manna. But it doesn't profit, especially when you look at the condition of the world and where it's headed. And to compromise your integrity for it is it's unspeakable. Let's go here. This is Exodus chapter 23 and verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in the cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. And when you read this in the NLT, Exodus 23 and 2, you must not follow the crowd in doing wrong. When you are called to testify in a dispute, do not be swayed by the crowd to twist justice. All right, and the popular culture of our people is to chase money. It's actually glorified amongst our people to compromise your integrity to do so. Because amongst a nation that values integrity, nobody would go and pay tickets to see a woman like Sexy Red. None of our people, at least. And it shows you that this is a widely accepted part of our culture where our people compromise their integrity and they support people that do so, that put forth an image of us that's not correct. And in essence, that's what Esau desires you to do. When you look at this image and you see this guy, you know, he's signing a paper, but behind him, you see all of the vanity, the schemes. And what does it profit you in the end? Seeing that all these things shall melt with fervent heat. But that's the culture. You know, I was thinking about this earlier through the Spirit. You know, as a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American man, you're born into a world with pressure already applied to you because you're starting from zero. You're starting from negative. So there's this extra pressure applied to you by your mother. She more than likely is a single mother. And there's this pressure applied to you to break the generational curse or to be the one to save your family from poverty. When in actuality, you're supposed to come into a family where you start with something, you know, where you actually have something to work with. You think about the ancient world, your father may have been a carpenter. You came into the practice of carpentry. You know, your father had land and you would inherit that land. Or at least a trade. Worst case scenario, your father was a carpenter. From a child, you've learned a trade. And that was your scholastic history or your educational system. You think about this society, they put you through K through 12 and then you graduate with no real skills that you can use in the real world. And I say that to say this, that there's this added pressure amongst Negro, Latino, and Native American men to fix generations of brokenness. And this is why Negro, Latino, and Native American men especially are so quick to compromise their integrity. There was a scoffer not too long ago. He was a comedian. I forget his name. But, you know, he basically said his kids can't eat books. All y'all do is know stuff. And in essence, what he was really getting at is that, you know, your integrity is not valued. There's no value in integrity. I can't feed my kids with integrity. And that's the mentality. And this is why the Lord said he reserved unto himself 7,000 men who will not bow the knee to Baal. Matter of fact, let's get that, Lord willing. Because you're right. In this society, integrity is not rewarded. And what you know doesn't necessarily feed your family. But it's the integrity of standing up for Yahweh Shema Shai, not just in word, but in deed, that make the rich sit in low place. Because any Negro, Latino, or Native American could have found some talent and compromised their integrity to be something of importance in this world. But what would it profit you? And this is why the Lord said he reserved unto himself, meaning he put the spirit on the elect to go against that grain. The true anomalies amongst the matrix is the elect, because everything in this society pushes you forth toward getting rich by any means, which in most cases is compromising your integrity. And we're not even going to begin to start on the way women in high places have to compromise their integrity concerning Negro, Latino, and Native American women. This is Romans chapter 11 and verse 4. But what saith the answer of Yahweh Shema Shai unto him? I reserve to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. Even so then at this present time also there is a remnant according to the election of grace. You know, and many brothers have been in certain situations where they could have passed the threshold to become something of renown in this world. But the Lord saved them from themselves. Lord willing, we be a part of that number. As a matter of fact, let's go here. Because all of it, when you boil it down, it's all just validation. It's the desire for validation. You know, the unfortunate, if you will, situation of Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans is you're born into a world where your self-esteem starts low. Your history is taught to you that you started off in slavery. You're poor, and there's a pressure on you to do something extraordinary to break the curse of your family being poor, your uncles and your grandfather and your father. So it puts a mindset in most of the men of our nation to seek validation wherever, anywhere. And in most cases, it causes you to compromise your integrity. Because as you look at this picture, it's really deeper than just signing a piece of paper. And it's really deeper than just the ones who are looked up to amongst our people. You have a lot of our people who work jobs, who have labored at a job for years, and they're afraid to stand up for what's true because of what they stand to lose concerning a job. And as the curses say, our life should hang in balance and we should have no assurance of life. And this is why our people are so quick to take that deal, to find some sort of comfort. And ultimately, it's not comfort. All right, this is Luke chapter 16 and verse 15. And it reads, And he said unto them, Ye are they which justify yourselves before men, but Yahweh Shema Shai knoweth your hearts. For that which is highly esteemed among men is abomination in the sight of Yahweh Shema Shai. And most of our people are raised to believe that it's better to look rich than actually be rich. And when I say rich, I'm talking about rich in spirit. Of course, it can't feed your family. And that's the cost of integrity. That the rich do sit in low place. Yet through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, as the scriptures say in Revelation, thou art rich. Because no matter what, the kingdom is still promised to the nation of Israel under Yahweh Shai. And Lord willing, we be a part of that number. In the kingdom, a normal Israelite is going to be far better than any celebrity on this side concerning our people. And this will make the saying true. What did it profit you by selling yourself short in a society for the amusement of your servants when you were going to get 100-fold anyway? So Lord willing, this was edifying. I just wanted to go into that through the spirit. You know, we're in a very beautiful time. And you know what? Value systems are changing. You know, it may not seem like it right now, but the value system in this society is changing. And truth is becoming a more sought after commodity in those who are willing to stand up for it. Integrity is becoming more and more valuable every day. This is Isaiah chapter 13. I'm going to jump down to verse 12. And it reads, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. And that's rich in spirit. And it's going to translate into a physical deliverance and a physical exaltation as a nation of people, beginning with the elect, who are going to be greatly commended for standing so stiffly in this society. And when you look at this picture, most of our people fall victim to things that look right according to the eyes and things that are honored in the sight of men. And as the scriptures say, the fashion of this world is going to pass away. And it's beautiful through the spirit because, again, to have this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is far better than any rubies or riches and gold. And the ironic thing about it is that when you look at these guys who have basically sold their integrity for riches in this world, they don't actually look happy. It's only so many garments you can buy. It's only so many women you can lay with before those things become old to you. It's only so many cars you can buy. So many gifts you can give people till all you become is a resource and not a human being anymore. And this is why the Lord told us that all that we were wise, that we considered our latter end. Because in the kingdom, we're not going to have to supplicate to other nations for a handout. All right. The blessing is going to be upon us. All right. This is Deuteronomy chapter 15 and verse 6. And it reads, for the Lord thy God blessed thee as he promised thee, and thou shalt lend unto many nations, but thou shalt not borrow. And thou shalt reign over many nations, but they shall not reign over thee. Now, what is a record deal compared to that? Our reputation as a family on earth exalted under Yahweh Shai. Most of our people are fighting to be the exception. Well, what happens when the average is number one? Meaning just being an Israelite places you above all nations. Then what profit was it to try to be the exception when we were in a lower state? You know, as the scriptures say, if riches come upon you, set your heart not upon it. Because it doesn't mean that you're not going to have brothers who are well off, so to speak. But if you've compromised your integrity for it, then there is no profit in that. And this is why the Lord's teaching us a very important lesson, that righteousness and integrity is more valuable than anything tangible, because tangible things change. All right. Matter of fact, This is Matthew chapter 6 and verse 19. And it reads, "Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." And this is why it's a discouraging message to most of our people when they hear this society is going to fall, because whatever they've gathered in this society, that's their treasure. And they've set their heart upon things that are of no value. And that's what it means to sell your soul, to compromise your integrity for something that is of no value. To compromise your integrity in general is to sell your soul. And it's not always the ones that's doing rituals or doing something that could be held over their head as blackmail. But when you're afraid to speak truth and stand up for it because of what you stand to lose, you're in essence, you're exchanging your integrity for something tangible. And the Lord is teaching us the value of integrity without the physical reward. And this is the beauty of it through the Spirit, that our hope is not going to be made frustrate. And the world is going to see the cost of wickedness and a reward of righteousness. Lord willing, we be a part of that number. All right, real quick. This is Malachi chapter 3. And I'm going to jump down to verse 18. And it reads, "Then shall you return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth Yahweh B'Shem El Shai and him that serveth him not." Because most of our people, when they take that deal, they're just acknowledging that they're serving Esau. All right, they're not serving Yahweh B'Shem El Shai, they'd rather serve Esau. And the ultimate confirmation of that is going to be the chip, the MOTB. But again, through the Spirit, they're going to be able to discern the reward and the judgment. All right, so Lord willing, this was edifying with that. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yasha Allah, and a sincere salutation to all you Akim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwad, who are believing this word, and all truth and in sincerity. Shalom.